Welcome to Dragonian, your podcast for news and updates in Hong Kong and Taiwan. I'm your host, William.
Hi, welcome to part 1 of the 9th episode of the Dragonian podcast. This is your host, William. In this part of the episode, we will be discussing about the Night Vibes campaign, youth integration in the United Kingdom for Hong Kongers, the Asian Games, and the National Day. So first, we'll discuss about the Night Vibes Hong Kong campaign, as this is the third time we are discussing this new campaign for promoting night economy in Hong Kong. So in short first, the government is still lacking experience in hosting such events, as we're seeing there are different unexpected events happening during different events without any backup plans. And in this week's the Night Vibes Hong Kong campaign spotlight is the Waterfront Carnival at Mid-Autumn Festival, plus, the National Day and all of them, yeah. So first, we're having a waterfront carnival with quite bad designs or quite, not futuristic, it's quite old designs, having all those ideas that, if you have the stalls, then people will come and etc. So you got these stalls. There aren't any like $20 for 4 pieces of shumai issue. We discussed it last week. But there are some tons of messes, which I'll tell you and discuss it later. So first, the first mess came about the power outage. So in this campaign, it uses electricity from a construction site next to the event space. So it borrowed electricity, and it was hosted by the Development Bureau with the Harbourfront Commission. So in the first day, there was a serious power outage as workers from the construction site next to the carnival site cut the electricity. It removed the power lines and literally rendered the whole carnival's opening without enough electricity. And this waterfront carnival, some people just joked about this. We are simulating power outages when Hong Kong was in the World War II. So we are getting World War II experiences. It seems weird, but that's the first thing that people told or some local netizens discuss. And then, because of this power shortage, they're borrowing diesel generators from the second day onwards. And this came the second problem of this Night Vibes Carnival. So, when they signed all these things, when they signed the Memorandum of Understanding for setting up stalls, these were free. So electricity should provide free of charge to the organizers so as to mitigate the cost of setting up the stalls and renting out spaces, etc. However, although free power, free electricity was promised, the organizer initially charged stall participants for extra power access. So this is the second. So promises were made, but promises weren't kept, and issues came. However, the government quickly refunded the extra charges. The organizer quickly refunded the extra charges after this whole thing got into local news and after bad publicity happened. So that's the second issue. And then the third issue is about the lack of water access and sewage access. So normally if you're having a carnival, you may have hot food stalls, you may have stalls that provide food and other services or So in this case, in this waterfront carnival, there were these hot food stalls. So the government geniusly they helped remove the barrier of providing hot food, but they did not provide water. So normally if you in Hong Kong or in some Asian cities, water should be considered a very important component in cooking food. So you have steam thing, you have food that steams, you have food that drop into in boil, and then you have other foods that requires water to be used in the preparation of the food itself. And then water was not provided, so problems arose, especially when in this case different people or different they just don't have the water to cook and do the food and finish the food. So that's one problem. And then there isn't any sewage. So there isn't any sewage access. So the problem for sewage access is that if you have enough sewage, or if you cook food, you use water, you use other different oil and etc., it generates sewage. But there wasn't any sewage dumping areas or sewage access connected to each stall. So that's the second problem. And then that's not the second, that's the third problem. And then there's also the fourth problem. So if you sign a stall, then normally you get notified on when you can operate on the premises. Like it's normal. If you sign a memorandum, then normally they will notify when you can open the stores. However, because of the National Day fireworks display, there was an early closure of the event in the 1st of October. However, the store owners weren't notified on this whole early closures, and as like the stores, they hope the National Day events, like fireworks means people, so they hope this attracts people and attracts businesses, like doing businesses, attracts money, attracts people from like spending on their stores. But they just closed prematurely on like 5 p.m. at first, 4 p.m. at first, and then because of all the backlash again, they changed from 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. and added an additional 3 or 4 hours of after event carnival. But when the whole fireworks display was happening, there wasn't any fireworks or there wasn't any stores opening, just because of this. So you were just literally removing the one of the main attraction of attracting people setting up stores. So that's the fourth problem. And then there is also a fifth problem. This is albeit a little bit minor. So normally when you're having harbourfront carnivals, then normally it's something that is related to the harbourfront or it's related to food. But in this harbourfront carnival, there were completely unrelated things. For example, feng shui stores. You won't go to the waterfront and do those, like find a feng shui master and do those stores. So there is this quite minor issue of unrelated things being like on this whole event. So yeah. So basically the government has still very little experience in hosting these events, so it created these problems. And that's about this week's Spotlight of the Night 5's Hong Kong campaign. And now it's the second topic, about the National Day of China. So, the 1st of October is the founding of the People's Republic of China. And at the same time, it's also dubbed as the formalization of the cessation of the Communist Party of China from the Republic of China. So that's just joke. That's more related to people from Taiwan. But the Hong Kong government celebrated the founding of the People's Republic of China on the 1st of October. It's normal. Like, you're celebrating different events, you celebrate different things. However, in this celebration, normally you get a flag raising ceremony, you get other different events. But in this case, national security is still in the forefront of this whole thing. So in the wine party or in the celebration party of the founding of the People's Republic of China, or the anniversary of the founding of the People's Republic of China, both the National Security Office by the People's Government of China or the Communist Party reiterated the importance of removing the remainders of the black-clad and the problem of the resistance of the black-clad anti-China forces. So it seems normal, like it seems technically a bit normal, but it isn't, as people are just leaving Hong Kong en masse, as you know, they just don't want to play with you. They just don't want to play with the game. And this is one part. And the second part of the emphasis of this National Day event is economy. Yeah, economy. So it's still a main topic, as the Hong Kong government tries to attract foreign direct investments after the imposition of the national security law. As basically it stated that Hong Kong rises, from chaos to not obedience to economic prosperity, or from good governance. So that's one thing. So now you need to grow the economy, attract different investments, and basically tell people to come. It is normal. However, the problem comes that you are attracting the problems of how problematic these two things are, or it's basically a direct clash on China's identity or on China's interpretation of national security and economy. So economy means attracting different direct investments, foreign direct investments. However, in Hong Kong's case, it isn't. You normally you attract people, you attract investments, you get a free market economy. But in Hong Kong's case, you're imposing a law that isn't written in oceanic law. You're written in continental law, and it's related, and it's not only related to the continental law problem, it is also related to the idea problem. So you're imposing this law, having supersedes all Hong Kong local laws, and it's just telling you that they can literally remove or take out or just get away with your assets or your assets, like your food, your money, and etc., just in the name of national security. And then you tell them, oh, I want to attract people to come to invest in Hong Kong. But in those countries, you are hoping to attract investments from countries that have a lot of comments, most of them negative, about the law. So the problem comes at Hong Kong, you want Hong Kong as a national security city or as an economic city. I think that's one problem on this National Day events, or the emphasis of economy. So there are also other parts of the emphasis about the Belt and Road initiatives, about the Xinjiang Uyghur, about setting up shops in the Xinjiang Uyghur autonomous regions, and etc. And they're also talking about, in this national security, they are also talking about sanctions. So they're saying that because of sanctions, Hong Kong will be more prosperous. Yeah, that's Hong Kong right now. That's the political side of Hong Kong right now. And now we are talking about the third topic of the day. This is about integration of youth from Hong Kong in the United Kingdom, or the BNO, or anything about the BNO visa. So, the government of the United Kingdom announced a new policy in integrating youths who are involuntarily displaced from their home country, to help them to retain their own culture, integrate into the society in the United Kingdom, and also alleviate trauma. So, the government in the United Kingdom proposed a £2.5 million fund in alleviating trauma for young people who fled conflict, war, or persecution in their home countries. So, it explicitly stated 3 countries or regions. One is Ukraine, one is Afghanistan, and the third one is Well, you know it, and why it came here, Hong Kong. So, in Hong Kong, there isn't a physical war, isn't a physical conflict. I mean, conflict where people die. There isn't war. So there's only persecution. Yes. So this is the first time Hong Kong are being described from like being forced out of their own countries or regions. And this is also the second time the government in the United Kingdom indirectly denouncing the government of Hong Kong, forcing their citizens out. Albeit like less directly, also less prominent in local news. So last of all, it is about before the last topic, I want to talk about my own opinion. So in this case, it's great for them to see that the government is ramping up support on people from Hong Kong fleeing from like the government. However, they should do more. In this case, they should do more in dealing with the issue of identities. So currently, the problem in Hong Kong is that they want to retain their own identity, but they do not have the support by the government. They do not have the support from the other people, and this results in different problems, including mental problems. There are also some problems related to employability. In the United Kingdom, when you attract all these people, you did not create enough jobs on dealing with these issues. So probably you need some help on that. But the government in the United Kingdom did not address these issues. Or they're putting these issues into other people or into other ideas or other organizations to solve it. They tried. I would say they tried. Yeah, they tried. So the last topic on today's Hong Kong news update for last week is about the Asian Games. This will also be discussed for Taiwan, but today we'll just discuss about Hong Kong. So, the 19th Asian Games, hosted in Hangzhou, China, officially opened last week. And Hong Kong athletes obtained quite good results. So, first of all, the boys U23 football and soccer team reached the semi-finals in yesterday. So Hong Kong was like quite lucky, as basically in the football you normally have like different groups. You have a group competition first before advancing to the best of 16. In Hong Kong's case, they only need to play 2 group matches with a guaranteed seat of the second, like guaranteed second place in the group, as the third and as there are 4 countries in one group, but 2 countries exited prematurely due to money issues or due to their inability to field or yield a national representative team. So you get all these problems. And in Hong Kong, in the best of 16, they won. And then in the best of 8, it won Iran. So Hong Kong got quite lucky. However, the emphasis in Hong Kong wasn't about Hong Kong or Iran, but it's about another football player who's called Wei Chun-tai or Dai Wei-jin. So he was born in Hong Kong. Originally, he should play for Hong Kong. However, he left Hong Kong to China and played in the national football team in China, like hoping for more money, hoping for more stuff, and etc. However, they also got into the 19th Asian Games, but they lost in the match in the best of 8. So he could not play in the semi-finals. And in Hong Kong, people just stopped them or rushed to his Instagram and mocked him for choosing China as like the country that he represents. So that's about the soccer fun news in the Asian Games. And then it's about other news. So in the Asian Games, there were problems about like the bad sportsmanship by Chinese spectators, including like booing on opponents playing against China. So there was like one case where a Hong Kong athlete played against a Chinese athlete or an athlete representing China. I forgot if it is tennis or other play or other events, but basically Hong Kong like the Hong Kong athlete was in a very bad situation, just like 1 point from losing and being eliminated. However, the athlete from China encouraged spectators to boo on the Hong Kong athlete. Just because they want to support China, just because they want to win. However, the lucky thing was like the Hong Kong athlete lost. Not the Hong Kong athlete. The Chinese athlete lost in that match. From the Hong Kong athlete, as Hong Kong athlete just pumped or just tried hard and turned this near lose situation to a win. So, yeah. So we're getting, in China's case, is like bad sportsmanship, challenges faced by people from China, faced by other athletes not playing against China, and other issues. So thanks for listening. So we hope you find this part of episode 9 informative. If you do, please subscribe to our podcast so don't miss a single episode. If you have any comments and feedback, please let us know in the comments or drop us an email at william@dragonianpod.com. Thanks again for listening. We will be back tomorrow with more news from Taiwan last week. So stay tuned. Goodbye.